This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
Hey there, it's Melissa.
And Megan.
So for a few months, I've been talking about having a new writing job, and now I can finally disclose what it is.
Woo!
It's called Chosen by Fate, Rejected by the Alpha, which is an immersive audio romantasy, which is on the app called PocketFM.
There are over 50 episodes up for free on the app right now. First of all, kudos to Melisa and team. And there are lots more to come. But here's the thing. As more eps go up, they will be available to purchase.
But we've partnered with PocketFM to give our first 1,000 US listeners who sign up for a new PocketFM account 100 free coins to be used for purchasing new episodes.
Yes, that is right. She said 100 free coins. So to get your free coins, download the Pocket FM app and then use our code BLAME-ME.
I really love writing this show and would greatly appreciate your support.
And again, you download the Pocket FM app and then use the code BLAME-ME for 100 coins.
Thank you again, and I appreciate your support. Stay tuned for a little trailer. Users must be new or an existing user with no prior transaction done on your account.
I can't believe I'm in heat in the middle of school, Trinity whispered. Most college freshmen didn't have to deal with being in heat once a month. But most college freshmen weren't werewolves. Trinity had many perks of being a wolf. She was stronger and faster than most humans for a start. But her monthly cycles were when she was at peak fertility, desperate for a mate. Then her body grew incredibly hot and her mind raced with dirty thoughts. And the day before the Harvest Moon Festival, Trinity moaned. Ugh, it's a good thing I'm not going. Everyone would be able to smell it. They'd think I'm more pathetic than ever. After all, it was hard to be in heat when you still didn't have a mate. But Trinity was unlike any other wolf in the pack. Everyone else could shift into a wolf form, except for her. Having no wolf meant no one would ever mate with her. Trinity was destined to go through life mateless and once a month, incredibly hot and frustrated. She sprayed some perfume onto her clothes in a desperate attempt to cover up the scent. Trinity stared at herself in the bathroom mirror. She pulled her long, wavy brown hair into a high ponytail and sighed over the features that made her unattractive to the other members of the pack. She was short for a wolf, only 5'5", and her skin was too pale. Well, better get back to class, she grumbled. Trinity sat back down beside her best friend, Juniper. They were the only two wolves in the mostly human classroom. Trin, are you in heat? Juniper whispered. I hate it. The cramps have started and everything. What are you going to do at the Harvest Moon Festival? The one I'm not going to, you mean? They don't want wolfless losers there. This one's different. The alpha's seeking his mate, you know. Trinity rolled her eyes. I doubt the alpha would ever look at me. You don't know that? Actually, I do. No man in this pack will take me as his mate, and you know it. Shh. They went silent when the professor hushed them. Trinity took notes, but she wanted to go to sleep. Being in heat made the craving for love unbearable. But it was pointless. she was destined to never fall in love. After school finished for the day, Trinity hurried out to the parking lot. Her older cousin Carter was waiting for her in his Jeep and honked the horn impatiently. Trinity climbed in beside him and they drove out of the lot at top speed. Slow down, Carter. We're not that late. Being late at all isn't good. Normally, Trinity's cousin was good-natured with her. They'd grown up together, close as brother and sister. But for some reason, today his eyes looked tense. His jaw was squared. A feeling of unease crept up Trinity's spine. What's wrong? Did something happen to Aunt Eve? Trinity's heart sped up. If Carter was practically her brother, Aunt Eve was the closest thing to a mother Trinity had ever known. "Mom's fine," Carter said, "but we've got a guest for dinner tonight." He made a pained face. "Grandfather. Mom just called to let me know. He wants to speak to you." "Me?" Trinity's voice squeaked. "Why?" "I don't know." Trinity and Carter's grandfather had once been a beta wolf, the second highest ranking pack member in all of Red Springs, Colorado. The Wittens had been some of the most respected wolves in the pack, but all that had changed when Trinity's mother ran away. The 15-year-old had returned home after a month, pregnant. She'd refused to name Trinity's father, and everyone believed that meant the man was a human. Overnight, the Wittens became the laughingstock of the Red Springs pack. Trinity's grandfather never forgave her mother for humiliating the family. Soon after Trinity was born, her mother killed herself out of shame, leaving Aunt Eve and Uncle Wesley to raise her. Her aunt and uncle loved her, but Trinity's grandfather usually ignored her. To him, she was the root of their family's downfall. So why does grandfather want to speak to me so badly? This feels weird. When Trinity walked through the front door, she smelled the amazing honey garlic pork chops Aunt Eve was making for dinner. But when she caught the faint scent of her grandfather, her appetite went away. "Hi, grandfather. To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?" Trinity asked as she entered the living room. She hoped she didn't sound too sarcastic. "You're the same as ever, Trinity." He sounded disappointed. Her grandfather was a tall, muscular man when in his human form, with thick gray hair and a beard. He looked at her with cold blue eyes and didn't stand up from the couch. "I'm here to talk about tomorrow night." Tomorrow night? Trinity was confused. "The Harvest Moon Gathering." Grandfather spoke with annoyance. "The annual meeting of the wolves." "Right, that. I guess I don't think about the gathering that much." Trinity shrugged. "I'm never invited, after all." "That's no one's fault but your own." Grandfather sounded annoyed with her again, as usual. "Right, it's definitely my fault." Trinity grimaced. "After all, I don't have a wolf." All werewolves shifted into their wolf form the first time between the ages of 13 and 18. Having a wolf form meant you were part of the pack, part of a tradition that spanned thousands of years. But Trinity was nearly 19, and she'd never once shifted. It had become clear to everyone that she didn't have a wolf form. As far as grandfather saw it, that meant she was completely useless. If Trinity had possessed a wolf, he could have sold her in marriage to another family to gain some political points. But now that everyone knew Trinity was an utter failure, he turned his back on her. So why is he going on about the Harvest Moon Gathering? Trinity felt uneasy. Normally, a girl without a wolf would not attend the gathering, grandfather said. But tomorrow is a special night. Our alpha is looking for his mate. He's been searching for 7 years. Trinity scoffed. Oh, come on, grandfather. You and I both know the alpha would never mate with a wolfless nobody like me. Of course I know that. But every eligible wolf over the age of 18 will have to be there. My goal is to find a good match who will take you as you are. Then you can be off my hands for good. Trinity's stomach twisted in fear and a little bit of anger. If I'm not really a true werewolf, I thought I had some choices in my future. I'm going to college right now. I want to think about that and what I'm going to do with my future. I don't want to marry some guy who'll probably spend the rest of our lives looking down on me. Trinity's outburst clearly annoyed her grandfather. He uttered a low growl and she fell silent at once. Don't get smart with me, girl. You're going to the gathering, and you'll look pretty and sweet and above all, silent. You'll find a match and stop being my responsibility. You're almost 19. I've spent too many years of my life being embarrassed by you. Do you understand me? Trinity could hear the blood pounding in her ears. If only she had a wolf. She'd shift right now and snap at the old man. But Trinity was useless, like he said. She should have known this day was coming. Most of the pack hates me, Trinity said. They're always laughing at me. Which of them would want to mate with the shame of the Red Springs compound? You'd better hope you can find the wolf who does, Grandfather replied. Now, I've brought along a dress for the gathering. It's upstairs in your room. I want you looking your best tomorrow night. Am I understood? There could be no arguing with her grandfather. Trinity balled her hands into fists. Yes, she muttered. After Grandfather had left, Trinity ignored Aunt Eve and Carter when they offered to talk about what had happened. She stormed up to her room and found her grandfather's dress hanging on the back of the door. Grandfather has good taste, I'll give him that, she thought glumly. The gown was floor-length and made of midnight blue satin, with a plunging neckline and thin straps crisscrossing the low back of the dress. It would show off Trinity's ample figure with its lush yet athletic curves. The color would also complement her pale skin and dark eyes. With a sigh, she took the dress off the hanger and laid it onto her bed. Hands on her hips, she gazed down at it. It was beautiful. But why couldn't her grandfather ever do something just because he loved her? Was that too much to ask for? At least I'll be the prettiest loser at the gathering, she muttered to herself. Trinity shook her head. I'm sure even the Alpha himself will be amazed. High up in his office, Reese looked out the window and half listened as his assistant, Noah, briefed him on everything to do with the pack. As the Alpha, Reese had to keep up to date on everything that was a threat to his wolves. He listened as Noah droned on about the potential threat of rogue wolves in the area. Reese shut his eyes as his assistant reached the last and least pleasant topic on the agenda. Finally, every unmated female should be at the Harvest Moon Gathering tomorrow night. Every one of them has been assigned a different group number, and you'll be able to mingle with one group at a time. It should be an easy night. I won't need a night for this, Reese growled. I'll know in 5 seconds if my mate is in that crowd of giggling females. The elders think you should spend time getting to know the women. The elders have no idea how much I despise all this meddling. Reese wanted to push the damn desk over. He'd rather fight off a pack of rogue wolves all by himself or hunt down a warlock who kidnapped a human child. He would have preferred any painful, unpleasant task to making small talk with girls who only saw him as a ticket to power. It's just one night, Noah said with a sigh. We need a Luna. You know it's true. Indeed, until Reese had taken a Luna, his position as Alpha wasn't firmly cemented. For all the wolves' sake, he needed to find his mate. But when he thought of mating, he thought of the tragic circumstances that had led to his father's death 7 years earlier. All because of a woman. A woman who had cared only for herself. That's what all women are like. Reese thought grimly as he stared out the window. I don't want a mate, but I have to take one. I have no choice, and neither will she.
Look, we all know there are a lot of celebrity interview podcasts out there, but there's only one, Happy, Sad, Confused. I'm Josh Horowitz, and yeah, I'm the host of the show, so I'm a little biased, but truly Happy, Sad, Confused is the place for nerdy and intimate conversations with all your favorite actors and filmmakers. From Andrew Garfield and Scarlett Johansson to Christopher Nolan and Quentin Tarantino. For over 10 years and over 700 episodes, Happy, Sad, Confused has broken movie and TV news every single week. That's because I ask all the questions I want to know, and more importantly, you want to know. Casting what-ifs, backstage stories, acting pet peeves, and much more. So whether you're into superheroes, prestige TV, or just the coolest actors and directors alive, you're going to learn something in every episode. Listen to Happy, Sad, Confused on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's ticklish business any way you look at it. Come on, we'll stick together.
Love movies? Love classic movies? So do we. Ticklish Business is the podcast where classic film is discussed in modern times. Hosted by me, film journalist Kristen Lopez, and my co-host, author Emily Edwards, we dive into the golden age of cinema with fun, heart, and serious expertise. As published film historians and lifelong classic movie buffs, we bring insider insights, deep research, and lively debates with a variety of special guests, ranging from celebrities like Holly Madison to TCM luminaries Dave Karger and Eddie Muller, and even family members of old Hollywood legends. Subscribe now to Ticklish Business on your favorite podcast app, and let's talk about old Hollywood today.
Does music really have the power to heal? How can you instantly be more persuasive? What would the world be like if there were no bugs? These are the kind of topics we explore in every episode of my podcast called Something You Should Know. My name is Mike Carruthers, and what we do on Something You Should Know is we find leading experts and curate topics that will impact your life, satisfy your curiosity, or simply fascinate you, maybe all of the above. Out of all the millions of podcasts in the universe, Something You Should Know is usually ranked in the top 200 of all podcasts on Apple. A lot of people like Something You Should Know, and I'm willing to bet you will too. We deliver 3 episodes a week and have a catalog of over 1,000 shows for you to listen to. Give a listen to Something You Should Know, wherever you get your podcasts.